that when you leave school, you're used to information given you in textbooks. That's problem number 6, and there's all this information, and so on and so on. Now, we've got here a rather different type of problem. And the problem is this: you've got 4 knives, you're given 4 knives, and you've got to make a bridge between 2 bottles which are placed more than 1 life length apart, and the bridge has got to be strong enough to support the glass of water. So Dinah's going to move it out and show us 4 knives, and you've got to make a bridge between the bottles strong enough to support the glass of water. So Dinah, you go ahead and try it out. Remember, you've got 4 knives. There we are. Now, it's actually quite difficult to do with steady hands at the best of times, let alone when the camera's on you. Well done, Dinah. Now, the point of the exercise was this. I wrote this up in one of my books, and I said you can use 4 knives. Actually, you only need 3. So I got lots of furious letters back from people saying, if you only needed 3, why did you say you could use 4? And that's precisely the point I'm making, that when we're in school, we're given all the information, we're supposed to use it all. But as soon as you leave school, no one is packaging information for you. You have to decide which information you use, which information you don't use, and really get a bit too used to having information put in nice packages. When we go out into the world, we've got to find the information, we've got to assess it, decide what we're going to use, decide what to look for. Now we come on to the last exercise, and it really overlies the whole lot and wraps it up, and really looking at the information that is in, the information we are given in a situation, rather like with the Barcelona story, what are all the implications there, and the information that is left out, which we would like to have. And again, in order to give us sort of handle on it, we create a little syllable for it, and we call information in phi and information out pho, FIFO. Now, what I want you in your groups is I'm going to give you something to think about, and I want you to tell me the information that is given, the information that is not there, but which you are conscious of as not being there. In other words, you can see a gap. I would like that information. And the statement is that there is evidence to suggest that teaching thinking improves pupils' thinking. Now, in your groups, discuss what is given you there and what things are not there which you would like to have. There is evidence to suggest that teaching thinking in schools improves pupils' thinking. You start on it. I will write it out as you start on it. All right, let's get some feedback from you quite crisply. Let's have some things which you can say are either there or which are left out. All right, front here.
What was given? That there's evidence.
Yes.
That this occurs in schools.
All right, things which are left out. Back group, what would you like to know?
I'd like to know in what form the evidence.
Yes, you'd like to know the form of evidence. Yes, what else?
How authoritative it was.
Yes, what else?
What age group?
What age group? What else?
How success is measured.
How success is measured. Yes, those are all very much in the same area. Yes.
Is the teaching? Is the pupil being conditioned?
Yes.
Or as in a free society?
Okay. What is the method of teaching?
Methods of biased.
Yes. Okay.
How does it improve the pupil?
Yes. How does it improve it? In what area? In general? In other subjects? For how long? What else?
Were the experiments carried out over a general cross-section? And if
Yes.
so, which ones improved most?
Okay. Obviously, there's a lot of other things like how long was it taught for? How long does the improvement last? Let's look at some of the things which are in there for the moment now. What's some of the things which are in there, not the things which are left out? Yes?
It's suggesting it rather than telling it.
Yes, good point. It's suggesting rather than saying this is so. What else? What are the things that are in there?
That study has been made.
That something has been done to give that suggestion, yes? All right, and that someone has an idea, even if it's not necessarily the right one, of what improving means. So Okay, last point, yes?
That somebody has been teaching thinking.
Yes, fair enough. All right, let's move on now and let's summarize all we've been talking about. And I think the points that I want to put across are these. First of all, that we need both information and thinking, that thinking is no substitute for information, and information by itself is not sufficient. There's very few areas where information is enough. The second is that how we get the fullest use of our information, the putting things together with logic, what I call the dense reading, all the implications, what I call the experience scan, the consider all factors, looking at consequences, and so on. Then with questions, we have the shooting questions, which are very precisely aimed, the fishing questions, where we dangle something and hope something comes up. Then with our questions, tests, experiments, the bigger the jump we can make, the more information we can get in. And finally, what I call the information in, information out, really getting into the habit of assessing in a situation, all the information is there, and being pretty clear about those areas where we really do need more information. And that's not easy, to actually define the gap as such. Where we'll come to at the end of this part, where we've looked at information and thinking and decided we need both.